I wish there was a way to legally listen to any video game music at any time. Wait, that music, it can only mean... That's right, I am here, and I heard what you said,
you guys already do this skit?
Huh?
Yeah, last month you already did this skit. Wait, why are you guys looking at me like that? Wait, why are you guys coming close to me like that? Wait, somebody please, help!
Look, I know I talked about this topic not too long ago, but I just can't get it off my mind. Originally, I wasn't gonna make a video about anything until a certain video was finished, but then I decided I might as well. I did my best to try and make this video unique from the first one, so check that video out if you want more about this topic. But right now, this is more about video game music.
In the last video, I wanted to talk about when video game music is bad, but I simply forgot to include it. So why not do that now? It's pretty hard to actually find bad songs from video games, but it's not impossible. The easiest one to talk about is Crazy Bus. Seriously, what the heck was this song supposed to be?
Well, Eve, it's supposed to capture the essence of driving a crazy bus. I get it. Just no more.
This game obviously isn't an official game, so take this song with a grain of salt. But a real game with bad music doesn't really exist. I guess mediocre music does though, but it depends on who you're asking. There are songs obviously meant to sound bad because of the setting or the context. And can you really call it bad if it's on purpose? Well, yeah. I mean, that's the whole point of it. Take Wario World's pause theme. This song is just so annoying, but at least Wario apologizes after 50 minutes of being annoying. But it does have a vibe to it though. You know what song grinds my gears though? I'm sure not many of you know this game, or maybe none of you do, but regardless, the Idolm master has this obnoxious loading song. I hate it so much.
Don't ask why or how I know about this.
Now let's change the tone to the opposite direction and talk about well-known songs. Now what makes a song well-known? There are many factors to answer that question, so there's no way we can just narrow it down to one answer. The easiest well-known songs to list are mostly from Nintendo, and for good reason too. A lot of people share memories with Nintendo's music by either being a game from their childhood, a game they played with their friends, or something completely different. Nintendo music rarely sounds bad, but regardless of the game, there would be at least one song from the soundtrack to catch the attention of someone. Sonic music has a similar fate to Nintendo music. It's well known for almost the same reasons, but let's focus on a song like Green Hill Zone for a second. Green Hill Zone has a bunch of different versions across many different Sonic games, so people must have heard it at least once. It always keeps a fresh tone to it regardless of the version, but it still keeps its identity, unless it's Sonic Forces. We don't talk about Sonic Forces Green Hill Zone. But this way makes it so Green Hill Zone will be recognizable throughout different generations of video games, which is pretty cool. There are some recognizable songs out there that come from games that aren't all too well known. Like of course there would be some sort of following to these games, but their songs actually boosted them in popularity. Yakuza's Baka Mitai is a clear example of this happening. If it wasn't made as some sort of joke back in 2020, the game wouldn't be as popular as today. The game was fairly well known, but its relevance did get a boost after the popularity of that song. A similar thing happened pretty recently to It Has to Be This Way from Metal Gear Revengeance. The key reason to these songs getting as popular as they do is because of the people's love for these games. Some random guy wouldn't turn these songs into jokes if they didn't like the games, let alone these songs. So in a way, not only are the games making these songs have impact, but it's also the people who assist in making them popular. And of course, the composer of the song should take all the credit for making a tune that many can enjoy. I didn't really know what to call this segment, but I guess catchiness is fine. Video game music can be stuck in your head most of the time. I guess it really depends on who you are though, but that applies to any form of music really. If you listen to it a bunch, you'll have it stuck in your head. I'm sure that if you listen to Crazy Bus long enough, the same will happen. A lot of times, you would hear a video game song on repeat or just play often because of the situation you're put in. You may not be listening to the song in your free time, but when you play the game, you have no other option but to listen to it. Unless, of course, you turn off the music. But since video game music is composed in a way to motivate you, it will have a catchy rhythm to it. Easy to follow, doesn't get old quickly, it's just a recipe for catchiness. Many OSTs have a certain style that gives off a really banging vibe. They have multiple songs in them that can just keep you listening to it. One of my favorites to listen to is the Pirate Warriors soundtrack. Many songs in that series have some of my favorite instruments combined together to make a really cool sounding soundtrack. It makes sense why it needs to be crazy at all times, since the gameplay is pretty much you against a horde of enemies. So the song will feel like you need to finish the mission, but I seriously can't get it out of my head. Simplicity in music also contributes to why it's so catchy. As I mentioned, it should be easy to follow when you listen to it. What does that mean? Well, a complicated song will be something like Crazy Bus.
Wow, I'm mentioning Crazy Bus more than I ever will.
But Crazy Bus's theme is just all over the place and far from pleasing to the human ear. There's no way someone finds enjoyment out of this song. Now the complete opposite of this song would be something like Kirby Superstar's Rest Area song. This song is pretty simple and calming too. Get in the right mood, and I'm sure you will probably sleep to this song. But if you want something even more simple, then look no further than Bomberman Hero's main menu theme. Yeah, not even I know what this song's supposed to convey. Speaking of Bomberman Hero, this is one of the greatest OSTs I've ever listened to. This has many calming songs in it, and it really feels like one of a kind OST. If you ever have time, you should listen to it. I hope you'll enjoy it too. I can go on and on about how, why, or what video game music is catchy, but I think this video is already long enough. So to make a long video short, video game music may not be a genre in radios and such to be considered mainstream or viable, but I'm fine with that as long as video game music is not underestimated.
Another video done about video game music. I don't think I'm gonna make another video on this topic, but I do think that this topic is great to think about from time to time. As always, I'll keep loving video game music no matter the era I'm in. Even if you're not a fan of video games, I still think you can appreciate the effort that goes into making these songs. Now time to use KOF 15's DJ station to listen to all the classics.